all the drugs under God's blue heaven, there is one that is my absolute favorite.
Death Sticks, Spice, Bantha Milk, and Gungan Blood. If there's one thing that the people in Star Wars know how to do, it's get high. Hey guys, it's Sixth, and today we're going to be looking at the most commonly used drugs in Star Wars. Let's get started. So if we're talking drugs in Star Wars, then there's really no way that I can start off this video without talking about the most famous one in the entire fandom.
You wanna buy some Death Sticks?
So Death Sticks are a hallucinogenic drug that are relatively cheap and shorten the user's lifespan after each dose, hence the name Death Sticks. They're also incredibly addictive and give you an increasingly better high after each consecutive use, making them a very popular drug. They're also rumored to be able to weaken a Force user's connection to the Force when used as well. However, we don't exactly know for sure if they can even negatively affect Force users at all, because we see an instance of Cade Skywalker using Death Sticks to ease some of his emotional pain, but he uses a Force healing power to stop the drugs from shortening his lifespan. So I guess Force users can basically just use Death Sticks without any lasting consequences whatsoever. So if you're a Jedi or Sith that likes to get crazy on the weekends, then go nuts. What's the worst that could happen? Now, there are two ways that you can take Death Sticks. One is by pouring it into an alcoholic drink. Most people prefer Fizzy Glug, or you can inject it into yourself with a needle like heroin. So basically, Death Sticks are like a combination of heroin and ecstasy, but are as cheap as crack. And while Death Sticks may be an incredibly popular drug, they're nothing compared to Spice. So Spice is kind of a weird drug because in order to obtain raw Spice, you have to mine it like how you would with gold, silver, or any other metal, which, I mean, I'm not the most drug savvy person, so there may very well be a ton of drugs that you get the materials for by digging around underground, but I'm pretty sure that no drug on Earth requires any mining. But in Star Wars, apparently, you go mining for drugs.
Hi-ho, it's home from Earth we go.
Now, there are a dozen places in the galaxy where spice is found in abundance, but all of them dull in comparison when compared to the spice mines of Kessel. Not only is it a major supplier of regular spice, but it's also the only place in the galaxy where you can get the special glitter stem spice, which some refer to as the most prized in all the galaxy. The reason why it's so valuable is because this particular version of spice is spun into webs by a giant energy spiders that have a knack for killing anyone and anything that gets within 5 feet of it. And I don't really know what the spider does to the spice to make it so much better than regular spice, but hey, there's a type of coffee bean that you feed to a cat and then it poops out and it becomes 10 times more valuable, so I guess it's like that. Now, there's not a lot of information about how people used spice, but by using context clues from the TV shows, comics, and movies, and the fact that it's a powder, I'm guessing that it's basically the Star Wars version of cocaine. So, you can snort it, mix it into drinks, bake it into brownies, go nuts, the world is your space oyster. Now, surprisingly, those are the only two main drugs that we ever hear about anyone mention in both Legends and canon, which I think is pretty weird. So, Disney, if by some incredibly slim chance you're watching this, give us more drugs in Star Wars. It doesn't even have to be anything fancy, just give us something like space weed that you can only get from an Ewok temple on Endor, or like Sarlacc blood that makes you see through time and space. I mean, we've got literally dozens of types of drugs just here on Earth, so I think that an entire galaxy would have a Sith ton of ways to get high. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If I somehow missed any other type of drug found in the Star Wars, then be sure to leave a comment down below, you nerd. And also, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time.